Hello YouTube family. Today I'm gonna be walking you through on how to use this Alaris pump. Alaris pump. That is the one some people call the cassette. Okay. So first you open up your set, your infusion set, the primary infusion set. You open the primary infusion set. Please, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe, like this video, drop nice comments, criticize if you want to. I really appreciate all your inputs. So you go ahead and prime your bag. You make sure there is no air bubble. You try as much as possible to make sure there is no air bubble because this machine is really sensitive. The tiniest air bubble in the line is going to beep, and that freaks the patient out. It's going to freak your patient out. They're going to keep calling. You don't want that for your patients. Okay, you make sure there is no air bubble and everything is set properly. So as soon as you make sure there is no air bubble, you go ahead and start setting up the machine. Just trying to make sure there is no air bubble. Okay, now the air is out. So this is the machine. We're not turning it on. That is the on button, but we're not turning it on. Okay. There is a blue and white thing that looks like cassette. Okay. That cassette is going to go into that hole right there. You see the sharper end goes inside. The sharper end goes inside. Just want to zoom it to make sure it's really visible. That end goes inside. And then the second blue mark there hangs on top of the machine. Again, I'm going to zoom it to make sure you see it properly. Okay, it hangs like that. Okay, at this point, we'll make sure that everything is set. All the line is well where they are supposed to be. Then we'll go ahead and open the tubing. Now the tube is open, we'll go ahead and lock the cassette. Okay, and then turn the machine on. We're going to wait for a few seconds for the machine to come up. After a few seconds, once the machine is on, it's going to ask, is this a new patient? We say yes. Adult, yes. We're not doing patient entry, so we'll go to channel select. Channel select. Once you select the channel select, it brings out what you have to select. Now we're choosing basic infusion. We're not doing drug because it's just a fluid. Then what's next? What will display next is the rate and VTBI, which is volume to be infused. So we're doing 100 for the rates on this one, and then volume to be infused, we are going to do 100 as well. Okay, and then we click on OK and start. We click on OK and start. You see it's dropping already. It's not connected to any patient. At this point, it would have been connected to your patient. Okay, I know some of you are going to ask, at what point is it going to connect to your patient? As soon as you connect it to that cassette, you clean your patient and hook it up to your patient. Okay, because there is no air bubble anymore. So you hook it up to your patient, but there is no patient in this illustration. There is no patient. So now we're going to do the secondary. We're done with the primary. I'm going to go ahead and do the secondary. You know, you have just one line, and then there is antibiotics, or there are other medications to be given. You go ahead and get your secondary tubing at this time. What you're going to get is your secondary tubing. First one, we use the primary tubing or primary set. Now we're using the secondary set or the secondary tubing. You hook it up, and then you don't have to prime this one. You don't need to prime it. Just lock it. There will be a hook. Okay, there will be a hook. The reason for the hook is gravity. You have to make sure that the primary bag is lower than the secondary bag. If not, if it's not done that way, the primary bag is going to empty into the secondary bag. So you don't want that. So you make sure that the primary bag is lower. You pick up your alcohol wipe and clean that spot you're going to be connecting the secondary tube to. Okay, especially if it's not capped. Especially if it's left exposed and it's not capped. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and open so that the air bubble is going to go up into that tubing. And also, fluid from the primary bag is going to come down. Okay? The fluid is going to push the air bubble into that tube. You see that? That's the air bubble coming up. See that? So now, there is still air. I left that air for a demonstration. There is still air. Okay? The air is coming down. We notice there is air. You go ahead and lock it again. When there is air, you go ahead and lock it. You see the air. As tiny as that air is going to make your machine beep. So we lock it. And then do the same thing. Bring it down and let the fluid from the primary push the air upward into the bag. Okay, once we achieve that, we hang it up, and then we'll come to channel select. Channel select. Let me zoom it so you see what I'm pressing. Channel select. You click on the channel select, and this is going to display. Down, you're going to see secondary. When you click on secondary, the dictionary is going to come out, and then you're going to click on the name of the medication, which is cefazolin, 2 grams in 100 ml. So we click on the A to E. A, B, C, D, E will display. You click on C, and when you click on C, all the medications that starts with C is going to come up. You click on your cefazolin. Now we check the dose. It's 2 grams in 100 ml, which we click and then say yes. It's already calculated for you. You click on next and start. Confirm. Just to confirm that it's flowing. Okay. Now everything is flowing. So let's come back to, for example, the patient is going to the bathroom, you switch off the pump, right? You come back and turn it on. When you turn it on, now this is no longer a new patient. Remember when he asked us, is this a new patient? Okay, we'll wait for it to come up. Remember the first one asked us, is this a new patient? So now he's asking us again, is this a new patient? You say no. And once you say no, you don't have to start all over. It's going to bring out something and say resume, restore. So you're going to click on restore and confirm, and it's going to start. That's it. So you don't have to start all over again, because now the pump knows that this is not a new patient. Okay, you go to your channel select in case you want to change the rates. Now you want to change the rate, you go to rates and then change it to 120 to 125. Okay, then also you want to change the volume to be infused. You also go to channel select. Okay, so once the bag is empty, when the bag is finished, everything in the bag is finished, is empty, you go to channel select, you hang it in another bag, and then you now put in the number of, it is 500, you put in 500. If it's 1,000, you put in 1,000 there for the volume to be infused. Okay, and then you click on start. So that is it about this. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, and follow for more.